Good afternoon. This is Miss JJ Diamond, Jacqueline Richardson, Jackie Deja, whatever y'all call me. This is the second part of my podcast for today. I've been running around crazy all morning. Y'all notice I was up like at 5 a.m., trying to get myself together to deal with this day. However, my whole day went well until the end, and I'm going to tell y'all about that. But first, I want to tell y'all about my car problems, okay? For those that know me, they know I normally buy a new car every 3 to 4 years. I always try to stay up to date with safety. That's just what it is. Anyway, my vehicle, I bought a vehicle here in Charlotte, North Carolina. And I don't know what type of loan this was I took out. It was kind of different than the loans that I took out from up north. However, the bank that I use is up north, so I don't understand where they change rules and different things like that. However, I normally pay off a car 3 to 4 years. This car note is just lasting a little bit too long, and it's driving me crazy, okay? So now I bought this car because at the time I didn't have a vehicle and I needed a new car. And not only that, I needed a way for my family to be able to make money to survive. It was crazy when we first got here, y'all. I told y'all the stories. However, my ex-mate needed to use the car to be able to gain funding for us to survive, to be able to pay our bills and whatever the case may be. And it ran the car down, okay? And it's funny that now he's my ex because I'm stuck with the drama, okay? But anyway, I've been running around. Well, the car broke down back in September. Well, August, September, okay? And my engine light was on. And I kept telling everybody, oh, my God, what am I going to do? My engine light is on. I'm not going to be able to get emissions. They said, oh, don't worry about that. You'll be all right. And I'm like, what do you mean don't worry about that? Now, I'm used to being in New York or Maryland where they take safety and emissions to the extreme, okay? But it hurts the residents. The only thing I say about Maryland is they give you 2 years on your registration. So that way, if your car broke down, say, right after you got registration, you got 2 years to get it done before it's time for a new emission. Okay? So I love that part of it. But if your car wasn't going to pass emissions, you either got to go to the streets and find some kind of way to get it done, or you get a new car. And this is just what we what we're dealing with. Not everybody can afford to get a new car every 2 years or every 3 years or whatever the case may be. But that's for New York and Maryland and New York is pretty much the same way. Now Charlotte, y'all know I'm new to Charlotte. Only been here for 5 years. This August I'll make 5 years. Actually July. I got here July 4th when I touched down. No, July 5th. July. I can't remember the exact date. Anyway, of 2016. So I went to get my, we tried everything we had got. Tune-up, oil change, the basics. Because I kept having a misfire and I couldn't understand why. So they said, we'll start with the basics. And, we start with the basics and got the tune-up. And I don't know if y'all recall me doing a podcast on Meineke. I think it was Meineke or Goodyear, one of them. That I sent my car over there to get looked at and get the tune-up and asked them to check the coils. And they didn't follow instructions properly. So it turned into a big ordeal. However, I had very bad experiences with these car places here in Charlotte. Okay, now y'all know I always keep a mechanic in Buffalo, New York. My brother was my mechanic because he's actually a licensed mechanic. In New York City, I really didn't have no mechanic in New York City. Maryland, I had my friend, what was his name? I can't remember his name. Was it Jason or Joe? I can't remember. But white boy, real nice white boy. He was my mechanic in Maryland. And of course, y'all know in Delaware, I had Riel. So I always had good mechanics around me, to help me stay on the road because that's what I do. I'm always running. I'm a businesswoman. I'm a professional. This is what we do. We stay going. We barely be home. We don't even know what the walls look like until it's time to go to bed. And that's just what it is. And y'all know that I'm always running here in Charlotte. Y'all see me on the go. Y'all see me, catch me when you can. Hey! And I keep on going. That's how I live my life. I've been like that for many, many years. Long story short, so I send the car breaks down on me while I was at work, and I was thankful that Publix, they worked with me, let me keep my car there for a couple of days until I was able to get a tow truck out there to get my car, and I was blessed, with that, and long story short, wound up getting my car towed to the dealership so they can look at my car and see, what's going on. The best people to go to, as they say, is where the car was made by those type of people. So my car is a Dodge. I went to the Dodge dealership. I wound up messing with them. I wound up spending $1,800 trying to get this engine light off and see what was wrong with my vehicle. Okay? $1,800 I really didn't have, but I had no other choice. With that being said, time went by and I'm saying, oh my God, I still got to fix this car. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I don't know if y'all noticed, I've lost a lot of weight, and that was mainly because I needed to get my car up to emissions standards. Now, luckily, I had spoke with my nephew girlfriend, and she had brought it to my attention that if you go to the place, they will tell you what you can do to get a waiver to the car places where they fix the vehicles and stuff, inspection place. So I went to the first one, and this is a brand name, guys. They knew nothing. They was pretty much taking me in circles. Every day, back and forth, back and forth. To where I got frustrated all over again, okay? So now, a friend of mine had mentioned to me to go to another shop, okay? And I said, okay, I'm gonna just try it, because sometimes when you're going through things, you overlook others, okay? And I went to this other shop, and it assured me that things will go right. They put me at ease pretty much. My belly at ease, my mind at ease. I was able to sleep. But I couldn't sleep fully because I knew I still had to get this done. And now, the next step, after you get your inspections done, you have to go to the license bureau to get that taken care of. Okay? So they can approve your waiver. Okay? Now, the procedure is that you get the inspection, you fail. Once you fail, then you try to put money into the vehicle to try to fix it, to see if that light will go off. If it doesn't work, then that's when they give you another failed inspection, and then you can take it to the License Bureau Theft Department. Which makes sense. Try to fix what, is broken. Well, I've been trying to fix what was broken since back in August, and spent a little bit over. Actually, I have a receipt for $1,800. I actually spent more than that because I got the coils changed. I got The tune-up done. But I didn't have a receipt for all of that. I had a receipt for the major work that was done. Okay. So now I call up to the lieutenant. And, I was calling the one in Gastonia. They wouldn't answer the phone. None of these business officers answer the phones anymore. It just drives me crazy. So I wound up calling the one in Huntersville. And I call him up. And I get the lieutenant on the phone. And I'm trying to explain to him the issue. So he frustrated me so bad, I started yelling at him. Because I'm like, you're not even following the rules. The rules on the DMV says one thing, and then you telling me something else. Okay, he wanted me to do something else. I said, now these people going to think I'm crazy, come back here. So he told me, well, go to somebody else. So that's what made me decide to pull up into this other new shop. That made me feel comfortable that things would be okay. Okay? And see, people don't realize, people, cars are their livelihood. As they claim, to have a car is a luxury, and in actuality is not in the South, okay? And the reason being is because the buses stop running at a certain time. If you have a job where you're working overnight, well, how you going to get there? Before Uber and taxis came about, and they're so expensive, how can you afford it, So that's where a car is actually a necessity, not a luxury. Okay, nobody said you had to be riding around in a Benz. You understand what I'm saying? You get you a basic vehicle to get from point A to point B. That's affordable for you. However, they assured me that things will be okay. And I went up, I got up and went up there. Of course, y'all know I had to pray about it. I pray about everything I do. But, I have this thing when it's about my kids or about my car, I worry, okay? Even though I give it to God, I still worry. I was telling somebody that today. And you shouldn't. I have to learn. And then with anything else, I can pray and I'll let it go. God's handling it. But for some reason with my kids and my car, or my means of transportation, I'm going to say that. Because it's not only my means of transportation, it's my means of how I can eat as well. Because when I first touched down in North Carolina, they made me wait almost 45 days before I was able to get any food stamps or, help to get food. And I had to go out there and hustle in order to get food for my kids. And my vehicle was my way of hustling. Okay, I was able to drive people back and from where they needed to go. They'll put a couple of dollars in my pocket so I'll be able to buy a meal to feed my kids. So I don't only look at, I don't feel right if my car is not right. Because if anything ever fell in my life where there's no assistance, no help, I can always use my vehicle as a mean and a way to get some money. Okay? Now, they took care of my waiver. They redid my inspection, passed my inspection. My whole day went well until the end. Okay. Now, I was so happy. I felt so good about these guys that looked at my car and, they had told me what they think could possibly be wrong. But, of course, they got to do a diagnostic and get in there and see. But they actually told me what they thought was wrong, which I heard this twice. So, most likely they're right. They was kind to me, very kind. The guy that did my inspection, he was very kind, talked to me, and said, "We got you. Don't worry about it. We're gonna take care of you. There's no need to worry no more. You're in our hands." And I also spoke with the owner, and he was really adamant about me and being secure that I will be okay, And he was right. Everything went well until the end. To the end. And the reason why I didn't go well to the end is because the person that I was dealing with didn't have great customer service. Okay. And I'll give you the name of the shop because these guys are really good. Customers are coming in left and right of all kinds. Okay. It's a very diverse place. I've seen Chinese, black, white, everybody up in there trying to get their vehicle fixed or the inspection done on or new tires or whatever they needed done. They was coming in there. So he's definitely a good shop. but the customer service of his front desk person, I wasn't feeling her. And I'm going to just be honest with you. And the reason being, and I'm going to tell you why. Okay. And maybe this is something that the shop can actually look at to upgrade and better their business. Okay. Now, when I first got the initial inspection, they only took out a portion of the money. I don't know if because they knew I had to come back or whatever the case may be. But my theory of it is they should have took out every dollar. Okay. By taking out every dollar from the beginning ensures that your customer have no other choice but to come back. Okay. That's number one. Number two, okay, it would avoid what I went through today, which pissed me off and stressed me out. Okay. And it didn't stress me a whole lot to where I'm like, oh my God, but I was embarrassed more than anything. Okay. And I don't like people embarrassing me, and I don't like to be embarrassed. I really don't like to indulge with too many people. So when I'm forced to have to indulge with people, it pisses me off. Even though the people that I indulge with was kind enough to be there for me. But what happened was, okay, now everybody know I don't keep cash. Okay, I really don't. Very rarely you will find cash on me because, people are always trying to steal. So I don't keep cash on me. However, I had to pay a balance. Okay, and the balance was $6.25. Now, luckily, okay, I had $5 in my purse. I'm going to tell you why. Yesterday I was at work, and this lady gave me the blues, and she knew it. She was giving me the blues over some salad. Okay, God bless her. She gave me the blues, but she knew she gave me the blues. You know what I mean? That's what made it so bad, So if people could recognize when they gave you the blues and it really wasn't, meant for you, there's people out here that actually recognize these things. And I'm one of those type of people. Sometimes I can give people the blues too, and it ain't really for them. But I come back with either apology or a reward, or both sometimes. Well, she's just a lot like me. And I was able to appreciate it. She said, girl, when I brought her bag, she said, girl, I am so sorry. She said, I know I was giving you the runarounds and everything. She said, and here's a tip, an extra tip, because they already put a tip in our, when we shop, they put tips in there. But she gave me an extra tip. And she said, I know I was giving you the blues. She said, but here's a an additional tip for putting up with me, So I had to laugh, and I told her, I said, God bless you, I had to laugh. I said, she's a lot like myself, because we're not perfect, and sometimes, we're picky and we want what we want, and sometimes people are just caught up in that raft because of what they want, but it's not intentional. It's all business and what your needs are, but me being a professional and knowing how to deal with people. And see, I didn't learn how to deal with people by waking up every day. Okay. Great customer service comes with learning how people are, putting yourself in their shoes, and trying to understand why they're acting the way they are. Okay. So that's where great customer service come in at. And y'all know I'm big on customer service. And this is one of the reasons why I haven't hired anybody for my business, because I don't see nobody fit around me with the customer service that I have. I see myself flipping every day, all day about the way they deal with people. Okay? So that's pretty much why I work so hard and I run my own businesses without others. And soon I will be having to hire people too. So they're going to have to learn my way. That would be the number one key. Because when you don't have great customer service, it falls back on the owner of the business all the time. And I'm going to tell you how it happened today. Okay. Now, being that these guys assured me that everything was going to go fine, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get them the Hispanic. So I got them a case of Maltas and a case of Gatorades. And I said, as soon as I'm done with this, I'm going to reward them with this because they were so kind. They was nice. Their customer service was good. And this was the guys. Okay. Customer service was good. Everything was good. Okay. So they get a reward. And that's the way I felt, my soul kept saying, reward these guys because everything is going to be okay. So now we get to the end. I got to pay the $6.25. Y'all know how you can go into a store and say the minimum to buy something is $3 or $5 or whatever the case may be. So she tells me I have to pay cash. So I'm like, cash? I don't have any cash. I forgot that I had the $5. I said, cash? I don't have no cash. I don't keep cash. And I'm like, so she says, well, there go an ATM. So now I said, okay, most ATMs don't allow you to take out just $10. Okay, you got to take out 20 or better. And then on top of it, you got to pay a withdrawal fee if it's not your bank. Okay? So now I'm subject to paying anywhere from $4.50 to $6 when I swipe my card to try to get out $10 or $20. Okay? So I just looked at it now. I said to myself, now, you're not using your common sense here. Okay? You're going to make me spend $4.50 to get $10 to pay you $6.25. That doesn't make sense. So I said, well, why didn't y'all charge me all at the same time? That way, I said, the last time I paid with my card, she's like, oh, well, you paid $20-something. Okay, so why would y'all leave $6.25 off? You should have just charged me the whole balance, and then everything would have been done with. You got paid. Whether I would have came back or not, you still got paid. Okay? So I'm just sitting here thinking, because y'all know I'm a very humble person, and I try to always analyze every situation before I snap. Okay? So now I start looking in my purse, and I'm like, maybe I got some money in here somewhere. So I look, and I remember the $5 that I had. So I said, okay, well, I do have a $5 bill. And she's looking at me like, okay, like, I still need another $1.25, like. And I'm like saying to myself, like, I know she is not going to make me go to this bank, to this ATM and pull out and spend double the money, you know? So then I'm like, well, what is the minimum of your machine? Okay, that you want to charge for me to give you the $6.25. So she told me the minimum was 10. So I was willing to just go ahead and give it a 10 and just be done with it. Okay? But then something said they didn't deserve that extra dollars. Something just kept saying they don't deserve that. So I turned around to the people inside of the waiting room, and I said, does anybody have $1.25? Anybody can help me out here? So, I looked around the room. Everybody's looking like, I ain't got it, because they have their money on their cards. One black lady, she said, I got $1, And not only did she have the $1, now that's $6. Now I'm waiting for her, the lady, to say, well, don't worry about the quarter. At least you got the $6. She stood there and kept looking at me like, if you don't give me this quarter, and I'm looking at her like, oh, a quarter? Okay. So now the lady walks to her car and gets the quarter for me. Okay. And I was so embarrassed, it was very embarrassing for me. Now, I told y'all I had bought these Maltas and Gatorades for them, because this is the thing. I've been in so many different shops. They always like to drink while they're working because they get hot. They start sweating, in and out of cars. It'd be hot inside. I'm on my podcast. I'm on my podcast. Oh. So then I looked at the lady and I said, thank you. And I said, would you like a Gatorade? And she said to me, well, I don't want to make you feel like you charging. I'm charging you for the $1.25 I gave you. I said, no, you're not charging me. I'm just giving you something in return, You loved me, so I'm going to love you, okay? And that's the way it works, okay? Now, granted, the Maltas I bought and the Gatorades altogether was about maybe $13 in total, okay? If she would have let me go for that one quarter, they would have got $13 back in rewards, okay? So now I'm at the point where I'm not given the reward because they couldn't see the big picture. Okay? So what I did was just gave the guy that worked on my vehicle a drink and gave the lady for helping me out a drink. Okay? Once again, I say, you have a business, and if your employees don't have great customer service, it reflects on the owner. Okay? I felt bad, that I didn't give the owner one, It's not like he needed because he had plenty of business going on, but he also got bills to pay too, but that was my appreciation. But I didn't give it to him because I felt like he needed to recognize something. Okay? Why did this person and this person get, but I didn't get? But I was just as kind. Because your employees are who you are. And if your employees don't do nothing right, don't do stuff right, you get the backlash. Just like with a child. If a child doesn't do something right, the parent always get the backlash. It's the same way in businesses. Okay? And that's one of the reasons why I run my business and I do it by myself. Even though people say, you're going to kill yourself. And I get it. Yeah, sometimes I'll be overwhelmed. But I would rather do it the right way with my customer service, the way I do business, because I represent my business. Just like when I go out to do Instacart. I'm not going to go out there and curse out the customers, even though sometimes they deserve it. And I'm going to be honest with you. Sometimes these customers deserve a cussing out by the way they treat you. Okay? But you don't do it because you represent the name, the brand. Okay? And when you're representing a brand, you always have to carry yourself to the highest and think quick. That's the great thing about customer service. If you can think quick and be able to resolve an issue with a customer on contact, that's great customer service. You always want a person leaving your establishment what's the other thing I'm trying to say? Not only leaving your establishment, but just be happy with the products or be happy with the services that you gave them. Okay? I couldn't even say thank you after I left there because I was so frustrated. All I could say was thank you to the person that did do my work and the lady that gave me the $1.25. So you saw how that changed my aura? And it all comes to play with greed. Okay? It all comes to play with greed. Because a quarter wouldn't have made him or broke him. Especially when they was about to get $13 in return of drinks. So did you get where I'm going? So as a company and the workers that work on the cars, they're great people. And they're honest and they do great work. Okay? However, he needs to revise his customer service. And it's hard to get good people to come to work every single day. And you get it. So sometimes we'll deal with certain things. But customer service is a must. Because when people are spending their money, let me tell you something. People, even you could be the best company ever. But if you have poor customer service, people will not shop with you. They just, okay? They say, look, I'm not shopping there because I can't deal with their customer service. That can cause you to lose a lot of money. But for overall, and I don't know, I don't want to sit here and say maybe it's because I have darker skin. I don't know. I don't want to say that. I don't want to make it a racist thing. I don't want to do that, But for her to pretty much pressure me over $1.25 just didn't sit right with me. It just didn't sit right with me. But like I said, overall, their work is excellent. Okay, so if you ever need your car worked on or you need emissions done, need tires, and they do a whole bunch of other stuff too, because I've seen 2 different bays. So they do a lot of work in there. But it's called Elvis Automotive. It's 5137 Central Avenue, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28205. Telephone number, if you want to call and make an appointment, is 704-568-7555. And like I said, for them, the work that they was doing, is wonderful, and they ensure you that they get you right and they're honest with you. Other than that, like I said, they're good people. It's just I couldn't deal with the customer service, and it could be 'cause she just needs to be taught on how you deal with people. And that's a possibility. But overall, my day went pretty well. Shout out to Cooper. Thank you. You have made my day. When I walked in that office of License Bureau, first face I saw was him. So I said, okay, all right. You behind this one too. And I can appreciate that, And I also wanted to give a thank you for service for a few officers that had lost their lives in the line of duty. I did see that up there. Y'all know I'm big on stuff like that. We have one, his name is Robert J. Firmer, Jr. He was killed in the line of duty. I can't see the dates. Let me see. The next one was Jackie Daniel, killed in the line of duty July 28th, 1994. We have Franklin D. Perit, killed in the line of duty February 14th, 1995. And we also have an African-American. His name was Timothy C. Barnes, that died in the line of duty July 28, 2010. So I just want to, thank them for their service, and that's why their pictures is there so people will know the officers that actually was in the line of duty and lost their lives, servicing our communities. I don't deal with the police too often, but I hate to hear when a person went to work and they never returned home because of their job. I have a passion about that. I feel bad about it. That's why I try to come to a medium with the police in the communities, because it's not a good thing to wake up to go to work and you don't return. Your family is waiting on you and things can happen and you're saying, well, how and why and everything else. You just don't know what's going to happen. And I mean, anything can happen with any job, but with a police job and even the fire department, when they go to work, you just never know if they're going to return, So I always got to take my hat off to those type of people and thank them for their service, for the community. So, yeah. This is the end of this podcast. I just wanted to tell y'all about my experience with this car in North Carolina. And, 'cause a lot of this stuff is new to me. I haven't been here very long, 5 years. I've met people that's been here for 10, 20, and I don't really deal with too many people outside of, how can I put it? Most of the people that I deal with here in Charlotte, they're from Charlotte. They're from North Carolina. I haven't really met a whole lot of people that's from other places. I may see them, somebody may put them out, so-and-so is from here, so-and-so is from there, but I haven't physically dealt with them. Most of the people that I've dealt with is from this town or from this state. And like I said, they've always been really kind to me. Every time I meet a new person from North Carolina, like I met one today, very kind. They automatically knew I was from New York. They heard the accent and they said, where you from? Because they knew that wasn't their accent. You know what I mean? So I can appreciate that. And like I said, shout out to Cooper again for supporting the people that have issues with their cars. Shout out to you for that, because we really need our cars in order to get around. We got to get to the stores. We got to, everyday life. You got kids, you're running over here, you're running over there. Your kids may need to be picked up from school. He gets it, and that's why I can appreciate him, But the thing is, and I constantly tell you guys, he don't know that things are going wrong unless y'all tell him. And this is why y'all have access to letting him know how you feel, what's going on, and what should be changed or revised or what he should look at with certain things. So he can have work to do. I know he gets bored sometime up there in that office. He be wanting some work to do too. Everything is not perfect. And they don't know it's not right unless we tell them. Okay, so, Charlotte, Raleigh, Greensboro, speak up if you feel like you're going through something if it's stressing you and overwhelming you. We don't want people so stressed out to where they just saying, forget it. Because you just can't forget life. You just can't. So you have to open up and let somebody know what's going on and what you may see or what you may feel or what you experience in another state, because they work together. They get on some conference calls sometime and talk about each states, but one may not be going through the same thing another state is going through. So there will be no reason to talk about it, But then, okay, with this issue, now I told y'all about it, what I went through with my car situation. And now somebody may hear this podcast and say, hey, let me call up Cooper and see how he runs his, one of the mayors or governors may call up Cooper and say, hey, I heard on Jacqueline's podcast, she's a resident of yours, that you're doing this in your state. How is that working out for you guys? Because I think I might want to implement that, but I just need to know the process on how y'all do things. And that particular state may pick up on it, So, and that's the way it works, They connect, just like how we connect, Just like people walk up to me all the time. They know I have a podcast. They know I have the nonprofit. They walk up to me and they tell me their issues. Because either they don't have the time or just don't want to do it, to write Cooper or to write the governor or the mayor, or even the president. People do read those notes, y'all, whether y'all know it or not. But when I'm going through something, I let Cooper know. I can't deal with this. I'm overwhelmed. It's stressing me out. Why? I didn't have to go through this up in Maryland. I didn't have to go through this up in Buffalo. I didn't have to go through this in New York City. Why am I going through it down here? At first I was saying, well, maybe it's the South, But then I didn't go through this in Maryland. Maryland's the South. Even though I don't look at the South, I ran into a vet the other day and told me, he said, you still ain't in the South. You want to go South, you go to Alabama, Mississippi. That's the South, But according to the map, once you hit that Mason-Dixon line, you're in the South. And things does change. And the Mason-Dixon line is between Delaware and Maryland. For those that don't know. So once you hit that Mason-Dixon line, you're in the South. No matter how far south you go, but you're still in the South. And things are different. But it's not that much of a difference. So some states just need to come up to speed. And it's like here with North Carolina. Some things North Carolina is up to speed with, or it has made or implemented certain things where they felt the need, the need was there, and every state is different. And the reason why it's different too is because the cost of living is different in every state. So where something made, that's like if you go, now I think I brought this up before, if you go to one store and I'm going to use this for instance, I like Slim Jims. I don't eat no beef, only just Slim Jims. Okay? I don't know why. Because I feel like you don't need that much beef. Now, I love these teriyaki Slim Jims. Okay? Only place I can get these teriyaki Slim Jims is in Indian Trail. But I can't get them out in Charlotte. So whatever's called for in each area is why, and it's the same with sales. You watch your sales. You see what sells in this area. and why. And then that's when you keep it, you either implement it or upgrade it, downgrade it, or whatever the case may be. That's the way it works, and it's like that even when you run in the state. Every state can't be ran the same, but they can use each other to upgrade or downgrade certain issues to keep their numbers right, to keep their crime rate low. Everything plays a part when it comes to crime. You got to evaluate everything. Why are these people committing these crimes? What is so stressful? The age brackets. Do they own vehicles? Do they have houses? Do they have children? You got to factor in all of that stuff. And this is why, even with the census, they send out the census because they want to know how much money does this state really need if 50% of the people in the state is in need of something. Okay? So this is why they do that. And this is why they ask us to fill out these different forms and let them know, who we dealing with and what we dealing with. So with that being said, y'all, I just wanted to give y'all my day. My stress is almost over now. I just got to pay for my registration. You have to wait about an hour or so for the computers to catch up. So once I pay for my registration, I'll be able to sleep tonight. Finally, because I got bags under my eyes. I haven't eaten. I'm going to go eat now. I wasn't even drinking water. I told y'all that I had missed drinking water. I was just so messed up because I needed to get this done. But it's almost over. So I just wanted to tell y'all I love y'all all. I'm going to always keep y'all informed. Y'all remember Elvis Automotive is 5137 Central Avenue, Charlotte, North Carolina, 28205. Y'all check them out. Like I said, they very good people. I just didn't like the customer service. But the work, they do good work. Okay? And they work with you and they talk to you. When you talk to people, and communicate with them and see what they need and where they're at, you can pretty much understand how to service them, and that they have great communication skills. So y'all try them out. I'll be talking to y'all soon. Love you all. Y'all take care and be safe.